Awesome.
Well, I mean, there's so many things that we do, but this, working on curriculum stuff is a great way to show, how we do stuff. So,
yeah.
All right. The first thing I am going to do is share a link with you guys for our planning document for next year. So let me pull up the link. Y'all are all editors. Okay, here it is in the chat. So what we are doing is this is going to save you guys from having to basically individually work on the CMAP. So this is similar to the document we use now. There you guys go. Y'all disappeared on me. Basically, right now we use this document, which because Christy doesn't want us to plan out each week quite the same yet, she wants us to plan it out by units. So to do that, I have created this document, and we'll use this probably all year. As we go through, we'll add stuff to it. I know y'all are probably like, what is going on? So I sent everybody a survey a week or so ago just to see what you guys were interested in doing, what parts you liked, what parts you don't. So I have, based on that, now, Teresa, I'm sorry, you kind of got the short stick. Yours was the last survey in, and nobody volunteered for the Gilded Age, so
She's not sorry. Here.
Oh, well, then I'll apologize to her later.
Well, she doesn't know where the meeting is, so you got to get her the link or invite her again.
Let me invite her. I thought everybody was here. Dang it. Okay. Well, I'll apologize to her later then. There we go. There we go. It should pop up on everybody's screen as a reminder. That's weird. Okay. So we'll wait for her to come in. So if you look at the top of each tab, 1 through 5, everybody is already on there. Now, there are a couple of exceptions. Jennifer, Carol, and there was one more person that said they would like to do the primary documents. I'll have to look and see. Y'all, was it you, Amaris? Y'all said y'all wanted to do the primary document. So y'all will kind of float for that part of it between the 5 units. So, you want to do it for your unit, and then just the other ones that don't have you guys on it. That way y'all can work on adding that. Now, the way we're going to do it, so the way we're going to do it is each person's going to do a part of the unit. Now, that is not to say that just because Teresa and Sean are on unit 1, Teresa's going to do Gilded Age and Sean is going to do, maybe they're going to split that up a different way. Y'all are going to work together. So maybe one person will do the PowerPoints, maybe one person will do activities. It kind of depends on what you guys like to do. So y'all have to talk to each other, and we have to do this backward unit design. There is on each one of these a unit plan, and it's specific for y'all's unit. Y'all will all work on it together, so everybody will fill out each part of this. I know if you've been here for a while, Christy had y'all doing this last year before the East. So y'all are familiar with having to do it. I know Brandon, Steven, Skylar, Carol, y'all all worked on these previously. So you are familiar with this.
These documents? I don't think we did these, did we?
Well, we were supposed to do them last year, and
I don't remember ever doing these.
It doesn't look
This was something Christy proposed we did, and we didn't want to do it.
Yeah, we never did this. I used to do them in my brick and mortar, but I've never done it here.
Yeah. Now she said we need to do them. So I do have one that's filled out. Like, she sent me hers that was totally filled out. So we can look at it. Basically, the information that I put on here for you guys is the information on this document. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into your A course that you still have access to. you know, when you go into your course, there's that little box that's got the 9 little circles in it. When you click on that, you can see all the courses you have ever taught. And you can go back into our spring course from this year. Now, Jennifer, I know you don't have it. Sean probably doesn't have it. I think Teresa should have it, and maybe David. If you guys don't have it, then work with your partners. But what you're going to do is go back in that unit from last semester, and you are going to go to Unit 1 and look at every activity that's on there and justify if it should be there, should not be there, or if there's something missing. Yeah. I mean, me and Skylar know what's in there. I have literally gone through every lesson in there whenever we redid it. So, I mean, some of us are familiar with it, but the reason I'm having you guys do that is because some of you don't know what's in there. And if you don't know what's in there, you don't know what's missing. So I know this is a lot, and y'all are probably like, oh, why do I have to do all this work? But by doing, I hate doing backwards design, by the way. I'm just going to put that out there. I don't like doing this either, but that's why I kind of broke it down for you here. So the idea right now is that we're not going to create PowerPoints per se for each week. And we've already got stuff already prepared. So by no means go in there and redo stuff. What we're going to do is have kind of like a place where we can pull stuff depending on what they say in August, because you know they always change things. I have been here 3 years, and every August it changes. No matter what they say in June, come August, it's totally different. So we're going to just go with what they have right now, and we're going to build kind of like a place that we can just pull stuff from. So Unit 1, for example, is Gilded Age. So on here, you're going to just list all the TEKS that are covered in this unit across here. All the topics, so topics, Transcontinental Railroad, westward expansion, manifest destiny, all that stuff that's covered in there, you can put across here with these various topics. And then I will write on here how many weeks these units are covering. So Gilded Age is covering 3 weeks. I've already planned out that, so it's not something y'all need to do. I've also linked the frequency chart right here. This is the one we got from Gilder Learner, whatever. We got it from them from a training that we did. And I went through, basically this is all the topics that have been tested on STAR since 2013. Okay. And X means that that was covered that year. If it's blank, that means it hasn't been. If there's an orange highlight, that means it has been covered more than 5 times on STAR, meaning that is a highly tested topic. If it's in yellow, that means it's pretty tested, but maybe only 3 or 4 times in the last 7 or 8 years. Okay, so you're going to look through this document at your specific topic. So the first section is Gilded Age. So in the Gilded Age, the highly tested topic is going to be push and pull immigration, because that's been tested quite a few times. All right. And then you're also going to include in the next section, it asks you, what are the yellow ones? So you'll just list those across here horizontally. And then you're going to go into the course. You're going to look at everything in there. If there's sections that need to be removed or hidden, you can write that, just write them down 1.4, 1.5. And if you write a section here, please put in parentheses why it should be removed. The same thing right here. Is there something that's in there that needs to be covered that's not? Again, you're going to list it horizontally. If it's not there, tell me what it is, what should be there and why. Okay. And then down here is just where you're going to pull activity. You're going to put your activity links. So, you know, what activity are we going to do for this unit? Are we going to do a GIM kit? Are we going to do a quizzes? You know, what kind of activity should we do based on the topic that's covered here? So maybe it says Transcontinental Railroad. And you're like, that's stupid. I don't want a topic on that. So you don't put anything, but maybe it's something like push and pull immigration that's highly tested. We want some type of activity with that we can do in class, because they want us to pretty much do a flipped class next year where we are not teaching content, we are only teaching activities. Okay. So we're having to build in more async stuff because they do not want us lecturing on Mondays. I know you guys hate that, and that's why we're trying to do these activities that we can pull from. On here, make sure you tell me what the activity is, a share link for it. Does this unit have a choice board that we've already done in the last couple of years? If it does, say yeah, and what it's on. We need at least one written activity per unit, preferably 2 or 3 that we can again pull from, especially for a unit that's going to cover 3 weeks. We need at least a couple, again, do them horizontally. If we have PowerPoints that are already made, just put the links in here. That is 100% okay. And if we already have videos that go with it, also add those in here. We do have I added the video link and stuff in here, and I color coded it so it's easier for you guys to see. Now, the one difference is we removed Jim Crow and added a week for Unit 1. So Unit 1 and 2 are going to kind of bleed together, just because 1, they go together already, and 2, we only have a week for progressives and 3 for gilded. All right, I know that's a lot of information. Does anybody have questions about that so far? Y'all are all looking at me like, so many things to say that I can't say at work.
Is that what we're doing today, or is that what we need to have done by a certain date?
Y'all will start working on this today. Some units have 3 people. Carol, you put your name twice on here. Everybody should already have their names on here, that I kind of divided out by what you said. Everybody's looks the same. The only difference is they're different colors to match with the fall recording link. You do need to do the unit backwards design. So this document has to be completed for every unit. Again, not one person is doing this. It is a team effort. If you really like finding activities, you should definitely be the activity person for your group. Carol, I'm not sure. Somebody's messing with something. I'll have to look and see what y'all are doing and why it's being switched. This was Teresa. And you, wasn't it you and Teresa, Carol, on one? I'll have to look and see who I put on one. So don't change those names at the top. Those are already there based on what you said you wanted to do. Now, one disclaimer, like every single person in the department said World War I and World War II. I did not realize the wars were so popular amongst everybody, but like everybody wanted those two. So I tried to, there's a couple of people that I know are amazing at doing the wars. So I put them on there, but one of the things is that, we tend to focus around the PowerPoints every week, but those should be secondary and things that we can put in the course as async rather than us doing them every week. They really want us to focus on the activities. So we need to have lots of activities in here for the topics. And that's not something you have to create, guys. I mean, a lot of stuff has, like Nearpod has a library you can pull from. I know some of you are really frustrated with all the different apps we use. That was kind of a common theme, especially with our newer people. But we use a variety of things because sometimes we find things that work better in different situations. Wiser, we found out, is a great async thing, but it doesn't necessarily work live in class. So, I mean, we kind of live and learn with stuff like that, but that's something that we can put in as an async in the course that the students can use as notes on their side. As they're watching the recording for that week, they can do the Wiser, and that can go together for them as part of their notes that they're taking themselves. So that's something we want to encourage you guys to do, are the Wisers to go along with the topics. Because that's something that we can add in, and it's not something that we have to go in and, do a ton of stuff to get done. I know y'all are putting stuff in chat, but I can't see it. let's see. You didn't see any partners list. They're on the top of the tabs, Carol. Up here at the top are the people that are on that unit. So me and Jennifer are going to work on progressives. Carol, it's you, Brandon, and Amaris for Unit 3. For Unit 4 is Skylar and Sarah. Unit 5 is David, Stephen, and Luis. Trying to remember where I stuck that list that I had. List, so many lists. Not there, apparently. Man, if y'all could see all of my desk, you would understand my confusion with lists. Okay, here it is. It was Teresa and Sean for Gilded Age. So I'm not sure why I got changed to different people, but where's Sean? There you are. Okay, so Teresa and Sean are on Gilded Age. Unit 5 is David, Stephen, and Luis. If there's something and you are just like, absolutely do not like that unit, let me know and I could probably switch you around. I tried to go by what you guys said y'all liked. So Unit 1 is Gilded Age, 2 is Progressive, that's the week. So Gilded is 3, Progressive is 1. Unit 3 is World Powers and World War I, and that's a 2-week unit. Then Unit 4 is 1920s and Depression. That is a 3-week unit. And then Unit 5 is New Deal, World War II. And that is a 3-week unit as well. Okay. Now we did the 1920s. That's kind of split over a week that we have 2 half weeks. I tried to keep it in that same place because that just seems to work well.
She's frozen.
I wasn't sure if it was me or her because my internet's been going out all day, so good to know it's not me.
All right.
I thought it was me because I'm driving.
I'm frozen. I know. I hate it. I'm sorry, guys. So where did I freeze at? Did you guys hear what was in each unit?
It was a split between 1920s, and that's around where you froze.
Okay. Well, I didn't say anything important after that. Then we're okay. As for the CMAP, I literally just added a bunch of stuff to make sure that it is the same format that we had this year. I've already gone in and copied everything from here. I've just got to work out the pacing. Like I said, I've already got the weeks laid out, so the pacing shouldn't be that hard to do. The big thing that we're going to have to look at is going to be, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it while we're talking about the units, is you guys really stressed that y'all didn't want the choice boards. Y'all want to cut it down to maybe 1 choice board per unit, or not per unit, per semester. Who wants that? Yes, no, maybe so. I thought that was what we had talked about previously, was that y'all did not like the choice boards.
Well, what's the alternative?
Another, like a written assignment.
That's
Well,
not
not necessarily a written assignment. I mean, we could put back just the unit tests back in there, because we have unit tests for them. Or we could just switch the choice boards. I think 1 choice board would be fine. I think 2 is a lot for them to do. We do have to have 3 teacher graded assignments per semester. So, I mean, we still have to have 3. We have the, right now, we have the discussion, the plagiarism assignment, 1 choice board, and we'll probably have the 3 WACs as well. The writing across the curriculum. Yes.
So I totally agree with Sky on having more primary resource analysis, but also since we're having that new change in the STAR, if we can look at the training, what we do that to help form around our TGAs, especially considering Christy was mentioning having them have short answer questions within the STAR this upcoming
Well,
school year.
and
So form
if
around
you've
that.
watched the training, if you've watched the training for progress learning, which is what USA Test Prep is becoming, they are, when they're doing this new conversion that they're doing over the summer, they are including a lot of these types of questions that are going to be required on STAR into USA Test Prep, including hotspot questions, which is where they pick specific areas of graphs and pictures, hot text where they can click on the text in the sentence, drop and drag, multi-part, matching a table in a grid, multi-select, all of those they're including in USA Test Prep. So we can include those as part of our snapshots.
Okay.
Yeah, we can include those as part of our snapshots. So some of that we will already be doing as part of the snapshots. I sent y'all a link yesterday. Definitely go to it for USA Test Prep. There's a recorded one at the very top that's just kind of a quick overview of the changes they're making. It's really helpful to be able to see some of the stuff they're doing. I don't know. Christy's saying she's pretty sure they're going to integrate it. I asked the lady at USA Test Prep yesterday, and she kind of gave me the deer in the headlights, like that's probably not going to happen because of this other upgrade that they're doing. So we'll just kind of have to
well, if it may not happen, then maybe that's how we can form our TGAs around those writing strategies, because you know our kids struggle with it.
Well, originally our unit test came with a part 2, which was a written constructed response. We just got rid of those because we didn't like doing them, and they plagiarize them like god awful. That's one of the huge problems, is just they like put it online and plagiarize it. However, we can add those back in if that's what y'all want to do. We could do it maybe a part 2 for every other unit, kind of like we do a choice board, rather than every single unit. It's whatever you guys want to do. We just need a consensus on it so that we can go on and, while we're working on this, put it in there. I've also removed all of the low-level quizzes, like the 1 and 2 point quizzes like we did this semester. So for their extra credit, the quizzes we don't use that are above 10 points, those are going to go into extra credit quizzes. Rather than them having 50 1-point quizzes, they'll have the higher point values, which I think brought it to 7 or 8 quizzes for extra credit, rather than the ridiculous amount that we had in the fall. Let me look at it really quick and I can tell you. Let me go to the golden course, because that's where I did some of these changes. I'm sorry, I got an itchy nose today. I guess I'm itching up some company. I hope not. I don't like people too much, especially when I have to see people in person. I'm not a people person. Anyways, all right. Here is right now where the golden is at. Christy just re-added it to mine. So the grade book, based on just adjusting that stuff, this is where all of our quizzes and unit tests and stuff are, which is exactly the same as we had. And then this would be the teacher graded. So we have the intro discussion. We had 2 choice boards, and we had 1 political cartoon. So if we cut that down to just 1 choice board and a political cartoon, I mean, we can add an extra political cartoon in there or some other primary source. That would be totally fine. And then for the extra credit, that still leaves 3, 4, 5. So 7 extra credits. These are all over 10 points. So that will help their grade at the end of the semester. What do you guys think? Let me move this so I can actually see it.
I would say other primary source, like reading besides cartoon analysis.
Okay, well, what we can do is when y'all are working on your units, if it had a choice board, like it looks like Unit 2 and Unit 4 had choice boards, put that it had a choice board this year, and then put on there if you want to keep it or not, or if you'd rather have it switched to a primary document. So as a team, you can talk to each other and say, hey, I think this would be better as a primary document. And then for you three that said y'all wanted to work with the primary document stuff, so that's Amaris, Jennifer, and Carol, y'all can talk to each other and see what kind of primary documents y'all think should go in there. Y'all can kind of work as your own little team on the side. Amaris, I know you're super busy with ACTC stuff, so just do your best. I know you got a lot going on, girl. So what we can do is, do y'all agree to cut down to one choice board? Which one would y'all rather have? Would you rather have the Unit 2 or the Unit 4?
No preference.
No preference. Okay.
I say I would like the Unit 4.
You like the Unit 4 one better?
It includes
I don't remember
stuff
which
about
one.
Depression and Roaring Twenties, right?
I honestly don't remember what the choice boards were. Let me look at let me see on here what it was.
Because right there it was saying 1920s. So
yeah, I think that was the 20s one that we had where it was the timeline and a couple of other things. It was like a timeline. They could something with music. I think Harlem Renaissance maybe.
It was a poster, newsletter, or the timeline.
Okay, so the Unit 4 one. I feel like Christy, I've got like 1,000 tabs open. So y'all would rather have the Unit 4 one, and then we'll get rid of the Unit 2?
that's just my preference. I don't speak for everybody.
Okay, one thing to remember about that is if you put it at the Unit 4 choice board, that's towards the end of the semester. They're going to have less time to turn it in, and they actually do better on the earlier choice boards. So I'm not saying one way or another. I'm just reminding you that that's at the end of the semester. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the downside.
That's the downside of doing that one. The first one I think is over Progressive and Gilded. We could actually change that to be something else. I mean, we could put it in the middle in Unit 3. That's like World Power and World War I.
See, all my kids really like the Roaring Twenties and that stuff. So there was like a lot of material there for them, at least my students, to draw from. But with it being at the end of the semester,
yeah, the pacing for it for this year, oh my gosh. Let me get rid of some of these. The pacing for it for this year was a little bit different. Here's this year's. So it came, let's see, number 2. Here's the choice board. It was at the end of October. And then the lock date was right after Thanksgiving. So this comes with them having less than a month to complete it. What we could do, if you wanted to, was move the choice board up to right after we do Harlem Renaissance. So put it like right at the end of the 20s. I don't know. That's why they don't want us planning out the stuff because of the fact that they don't know if we're going to have the same teaching schedule as this year. It's
Gotcha.
looking, I'm talking to Miranda, and it looks the same right now, like same teaching time and everything. But I can't promise that that won't change.
Yeah, and I was just asking that because I know that, like, I think all of us have had similar conversations with Christy, but, like, are we actually showing the kids how to research? Because our kids don't know how to research to write these papers. Our kids don't know how to analyze. And so I was thinking, well, if we have those Thursday classes that are kind of ours to do with it, could we potentially use those to show them, like, this is how you break down a primary source. This is how you do your research, and like have those writing classes that ELA doesn't teach until the end of the semester.
Well, and that's a possibility. We could plan, add that stuff in there, but that's something that we would have to talk about in August. I don't think that's something that we can even plan for right now. The only thing I'm trying to figure out is if you guys want a choice board, what are our options? So right now our options are just pick one of the two that we already did, switch it to a different unit, or we can keep just one of them. And if y'all are wanting the unit 4, we could move it up, to maybe the week that we're doing Harlem Renaissance and stuff. We could make it due, on the 20th, well, 20-ish or whatever week. Around that time, make it due a week or so earlier rather than at the end of the unit, because we go through and cover depression in that unit as well. And since I haven't done the pacing yet, it kind of depends on what we decide. But if y'all would rather keep that one and move it up, that would give them about 6 weeks to do it instead of 4. But it's y'all's choice. I am here to accommodate what the group wants.
I think the easiest thing to do is just vote on it.
Okay. We can do that. I guess raise your hand in your little reaction things here if you want to do it. With unit 4, if you want to keep that one in your little reactions at the top of your screen, just raise your hand. Amaris, you're alone. You're the only person. No, I'm kidding. Okay. And remember, we may be adding as many as 3 more teachers next year. So we want to keep that in mind. Looks like about more than half the team wants to do it. So that's perfectly fine.
I just don't have a preference. I'm good with either one.
This is for keeping the
keeping the unit 4 choice board.
Yeah. Okay. That's gonna suck, but all right. It's just bad timing.
We can move it earlier in that unit. Like I said, we can move it to like the middle of the unit rather than the end, and that'll give us a couple of weeks more.
They should probably start off with like easier things to get them understanding how to write, how to research, how to do this, and then go. But the choice board, unless we really, really edit it, doesn't really establish any of those. It's like throw some pictures on here, throw some pictures there. It's not giving them any skills. At least any of the ones I'm getting turned in are nothing.
One of the things that we can do is to rewrite the choice board. We can edit those assignments. And if we want to, one of the things we need to do for the assignments is make sure that they actually demonstrate what we need them to demonstrate, and not just them having some random assignment to turn in to actually complete, that doesn't really mean anything. That was one of the critiques that Christy had, was that some of the assignment choices don't really reflect what we need them to reflect. So it may be a benefit for it to be towards the end of the semester where we can build up to it. That might be a better option. Maybe you guys that are going to do the primary sources, maybe we can kind of scaffold up to the harder project. And we can even cut it down to just 2 options instead of 3 for them, if that would make it easier for you guys. Because one of the problems is grading it because there's different options. That's one of the problems. And another one of the problems is they are terrible about plagiarizing.
And the only thing I will say is, I do not mind doing primary resources. I love to use them when I can. Thing is, we need to have time to break down how to analyze those primary sources as a skill for US history, as a skill for social studies in general.
If we're doing flipped lessons, then we will have more time because we will not be spending all of our time teaching stuff that's already available in the course.
Yeah, and I think, and I completely agree. And I'm like, and that's why I'm like kind of excited about the flip lessons, because we potentially have that more time to do those primary, like, build up of skills, but it needs to be a collective team effort from the very get-go on building up those skills, and it needs to be a very conscientious effort if we're doing that.
What about using like
we
Class
can work
Kick?
on that. Yes, Class
Using
Kick is
Class
great
Kick
for that.
as-
You're absolutely right.
And at least having that as one of the activities that we, throughout that we use, that way they're using that skill format, whatever, that it allows us to do.
Well, the one thing is that some students work really well in Class Kick and some don't. If we're going to do something like Class Kick and work with primary sources, I like Wiser better. So that's why we want to have a variety of activities so that, David, if you really like working in Class Kick and that's really your activity source, then you can go in there and just pull that stuff out. So that's one of the things that we want to do, is have a variety of things to pull from, because you're right. A lot of you guys were complaining about how many different things that we use. And one of the reasons we do that is to try to encourage engagement in class, but also just because different things work different ways. Class Kick works great if you're having them enter things and look at things and watch videos. Wiser is a great thing to put in the course to do, notes with for them. There's Nearpod is great for, other things. I'm a little irritated with Nearpod at the moment, but we have a lot of different things that are great in a lot of different areas. So that's one of the things when you're working in your unit, to try to include a lot of different activities. I should see, 6, 8, 10 activities for each unit, because the units cover multiple topics. I mean, yeah, Unit 1 only covers Gilded Age, but we have Unit 4 that covers the 20s and Depression, and that is a huge area to cover. I mean, in the 20s, we have reactionary 20s, we have the fun 20s, the cultural stuff, then we have Harlem Renaissance, then we get into the crash and we get into depression. I mean, there's a ton of stuff just in that one unit. So that's one of the reasons you want to list out each topic that's covered in the unit, so that maybe we can have an activity focused on just that one topic. And we can put that in the course. We can make sure that there's videos covering that and everything. I know y'all are probably needing to go and do other stuff. I'm sorry that we're taking so long. But try to work on the unit design today, because that way you can see if you have questions what we need to do. This is in our Google Drive, so you can go in there and work on it. Again, if you really hate the unit that you're working on and you are just like, I can't stand doing the Gilded Age, let me know and I can see if I can move some people around. I tried to look at what you guys wanted, but I'm sorry, with a team of 10, I can't put all 10 of you on the 2 wars that we have, because then we don't have anybody else for anything else. Which is funny to me because I'm not a war historian and that is not my happy place. But I just thought it was hilarious that almost the entire team picked the 2 wars. So if you don't have any questions, I'm going to go on and let everybody go, let y'all start working on stuff. I know you have more than just this to do. I'll work on the pacing on the CMAP. I should be able to get that done probably today, just based on what I've already got laid out. If for some reason we need to move some stuff around, we can. Our biggest problem is the Gilded Age and the progressive units, because last year, poor kids came into class and had like 5 reading assignments a day for the first 2 weeks. So we switched that and added a week to the Gilded Age by taking out the Jim Crow stuff, because that's taught in other places. So by doing that, that should give us a little bit more time to switch that and kind of stretch it out a little bit so that they're not so overwhelmed. How does everybody feel? Are y'all feeling good about it? Or are you just like, are we done yet? Is it summer? I really want to go get my tan on.
I think we're all ready for summer. But you might want to clarify what exactly you want everybody to do today. Like clarify the final, like this is what we need done today, submitted today, so we know.
For today, I would like for you to list what topics are covered in your unit, and you don't have to list the TEKS, but definitely what topics are there. And preferably, if you have access to your old course, to look through your unit at each activity and make sure that we want that there or we want to remove it. So those two things are all that I need for y'all to do today. If you don't have access to an older course, like you're a newer person, then you can just be the one listing those. You can look on the current CMAP, or even the one I'm working on right now. I can give y'all the link because the units are already listed here. I've already got them on here so you guys can see them. I'll give you the link right now. So I've actually already got this stuff. If you want to just pull it straight from the CMAP, it's already got your topics listed along with TEKS, and then the lesson names, and it's separated by unit. If it's in red, that's something we've already pulled out of the unit. I would be happy with pulling out all of these prep for the unit tests because I think they're unnecessary and I think they take up time that we don't need them to take up. So if y'all are good with that, just let me know. I'm going to give y'all a view only link for this right now, just because I'm working on it and I don't want you guys changing anything yet. I'll switch it to, once we're done with it, I'll switch it. Sky, I bet that just kicked you out too, since I sent you the link earlier. So this is the CMAP on the OLMS, on the OMLS tab. Is got the unit topics on there. So the lesson subtopics are what you're going to be looking at. All right, and y'all should be able to just copy that straight over onto this document here. And then you can go into your course up here at the top where you got the little dots.
Oh, now there goes. Never mind.
Yeah, if you click on the little dots at the top on your course, you can see every course that you have ever taught. This is even courses I taught at a different school is got on here. So you can just go down to your A course from last semester and look at it. Of course, I have multiple rooms, but you can just go to your A course and look at it. And you're going to go in the content and just look at your unit and look at what's there. Everything is shown. What do you mean?
Sorry, I was just referring to the courses, like everything.
Oh, yeah. It shows like every course you've ever taught. But you're going to go in. Remember, we didn't renumber these last year. So it starts with 4. That's unit 1. I don't remember why we did that, but I have no idea why we did that.
Real quick, Misty, you were breaking up a little and I got people here in my house working. For the unit design, you want topics and TEKS at least done?
Well, mainly topics. It would be, if you want to write the TEKS on there, you can. They're on the CMAP. The TEKS are on the standards in column C. So if you want to put the TEKS on there, that's fine. They're already written on there for you. So you don't even have to do anything to it.
All right, thanks.
Yep. Whenever we redid the course last year, I went into every topic and looked at it and wrote the TEKS down for every single topic. And yes, it did take forever, just so you know. That was like half of my summer was doing all that. Okay, if y'all don't have any questions, y'all are free to go. I'm here if you have questions, if you're not sure what to do. Like I said, the only thing I need from you today is write down your topics for your unit horizontally. You can do the TEKS if you want to, not required today. They're all already on the CMAP. And then just look at your current course and see what's there, what needs to be removed, what needs to be added. You don't have to write those down today, but you do need to go in there and look at them. All right. I know y'all have other stuff to do today. So like I said, y'all have got the document. If you want to go forward and start pulling stuff from, you know, the frequency chart, all that stuff, you can start doing any of that. I would probably wait to start on the unit design until maybe next week, just because y'all have a lot of stuff already today. But you can start thinking ahead. All right. And all of this is already in the Google Drive. So it's in the 22-23 school year folder. So everything is already right there for you. Good. Yay. Isn't CMAP fun? Aren't y'all glad you don't have to do all of that and the golden course? Yes. Yes, we're all glad. I know. Okay. I'll let y'all go. Enjoy your afternoon. I've got to go do my DDI with Christy in a little bit. So if y'all don't have anything, I will let you guys go. Enjoy your afternoon. Bye, everybody. I got to stop the recording.